this room.
What is up, y'all? We are back with episode number 4. We're moving this thing along. Okay, so you guys know I always do a recap of my week. So my week was pretty good, pretty relaxed, pretty chill, pretty calm. I'm trying to think. I don't know if right now I am able to remember everything throughout the week, like day by day. Like sometimes I know I normally give it to you guys day by day, but just thinking about what happened. So Monday, went to the gym. I know whoever follows me on like Instagram, or just really Instagram, because I don't really post when I'm at the gym on any other platform, but whoever follows me on Instagram knows that I be in that gym. So ever since February, consistently, like, so that's like a good, about to be 6 months, and I see the results so much. Like, I'm so proud of myself for staying consistent and keeping on going. And once you start seeing your body change, it gets like addicting. Like, you want to keep going to the gym, you want to keep improving, and it's not only for your body. I think people feel like it's mostly for that, but no, the gym is for this. It's for your brain, your mental, and it helps you be able to do a lot of things that sometimes you wake up and you're like, am I going to have enough energy for this? Like, am I going to be able to do the things that I want to do? Like, some weeks I have like 6-day work weeks, and I remember when I first started in the gym, I'm like, man, how am I gonna do these 6 days and work out? Because I know I want to keep going to the gym and I want to continue to improve. But back then when I first started, it just seemed like it just seemed like something unattainable. But now I feel like I have a pretty good balance. Now I literally feel off, like, if I don't go to the gym. So I try to go minimum of 3 days a week. Some weeks I'm in there. Like, 1 week I did 5 days. 1 week I did 4 days. But minimum is 3 days for me. So I went to the gym. I normally try to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes based on like scheduling and different things, it doesn't always work out that way, but those are the main days. Trying to remember for Tuesday and Wednesday, I cannot remember off the top of my head. If I do, I'll come back to it. But Thursday, I went to the movies with my brothers, and I had a great time with them. Like, I had an amazing time with them. I don't really hang out with my brothers often. Like, they don't really do like your typical like club things. Like, they're not in a club. They don't drink like that. Like, they don't do that type of stuff. Like, they not outside, period, like, at all, you know? So we went to the movies. I'm like, because I want to hang out with them, and I'm the older sister, so I'm like, I want to hang out with you guys. So, of course, I had to do something that they wanted to do. But it was fine. I do like the movies. I didn't want to see that particular movie, but I was pleasantly surprised because the movie was really good. We went to go see Fantastic Four. Fantastic. So, mind you, and even though I can watch a movie, the atmosphere of the movie theaters for me is very relaxing. So I do have a tendency to fall asleep. That does not mean that the movie was bad, but I can just fall asleep. Like, so I was awake for the beginning of the movie, fell asleep towards the middle of it, and woke up at the end of the movie. But from what I saw, the movie, it was an amazing movie. Like, it was really good. I'm gonna have to watch it again, of course, but my review on Fantastic Four, I will give it 5 stars. We did wait to the end because everyone knows at the end of every Marvel movie, there's like a short clip of like what's to come and all of that. So that was really good. We caught like a late movie or whatever, and my brother's so hilarious. He had me laughing in the movies. Like, he had me cracking up. Like, cracking up. Because like in the Bronx, we not used to seeing like certain stuff. So we went in the movies and they had like alcohol, like, and we've been living in the Bronx our whole lives. So when we went in the movie and we seen that, and we've been to this movie theater before, it's like we're not used to seeing alcohol like on the menu. Like, we see drinks, we see popcorn, like, of course, and stuff like that, but drinks on the menu don't be a thing, you know what I mean? Like, that don't be a thing. So but of course I'm like, oh, it's a thing now, so I got me some rosé. And my sister's so funny, she was like, that's why you fell asleep. And it probably was, I'm not gonna lie. But yes, the movie was really good. Like I said, I was I'm present. I was pleasantly surprised. So yes, that was really good. And I got to talk to them too. Like, we made sure like we got our little chat in before the movies, after the movies, got our laughs in, and I really enjoyed spending time with them because, like I said, I do not get to spend time with my brothers like that. And it was just a good day that day. Friday. So Friday, I had like the most amazing day. That was a good day. It was. Not saying I don't like to speak too much on those things, but you know, it's still early in the dating area for me with that. So I will just leave it at that I had an amazing time. And I know it's going to be more amazing dates like that, just because of the type of person that he is and things like that. So that was Friday. Saturday for me was good because, you want to know why? I'm always so used to like just going, moving. Always working on what's next. Never just like, you know, being balanced, chill, like that type of a thing. So, it was just like a slow Saturday, and I loved it. Like, I loved the fact that it was a slow Saturday. I ran a couple errands, so did nails and feet, got a car wash, even though that was a waste because today it rained and I had to go out earlier. And got, you know, my car got ruined, so I wouldn't have wasted that money on that. Even though it's just a car wash, but still, like, who wants to get a car wash and then the next day it rains, you know what I mean? So, did that. Came home, got some sleep in, because, like I said, I'm always, like, on a move. So, I love me a good nap, and I love a day of on and off napping, okay? That is something that I love. Like, on a day that is slow and I'm like, all right, I don't have much to do, like, I definitely make sure I fit that in the schedule, because if you do not pick a day to rest, your body will do it for you. So make sure you always fit sleep into the schedule. But I mean, you know, like, New York City is a hustle and bustle state, so it's like we always trying to get to it, and we on the move, and we doing this and we doing that. So I feel like it's good to designate some time throughout your week to get the proper rest, because I know for me personally, like, when I know that I have to do something the next day. I don't always sleep as well because I'm like, okay, I have to get up and I have to do something. So it's like, I don't want to not wake up on time. So my body, I feel like it's not sleeping all the way. And somebody once brought up like, it's called sleep paralysis or something like that, which I'm going to look into that. I don't think, like, say if I was to go get evaluated for that, I don't know if that's something that they would diagnose me with. That's probably something like on a more severe type of spectrum, but I do feel like I could definitely sleep better, and I do have sleeping pills, but I also don't want to be dependent on anything. Like, I take supplements daily. That's the only thing that I want to take to give my body like the proper nutrients and things like that. Like, I don't want to get dependent on anything like a sleeping pill or painkillers, like anything like that. So I just try to keep it clean, eat clean, and stay lean. And so that is that. Today there is a memorial barbecue that I am going to. Gonna go show the family some love, my friends some love, so I'm gonna go do that. I'm bringing it back to yesterday. A part of what I did yesterday was read. I am reading this book called The Courage to Be Disliked, and what it is about, it's about this child who, he lives in like a village. He goes to speak to, well, he's kind of like a troubled child. Like, he's having a hard time understanding different ways of life and different things in life and things like that. So he's having trouble with that. So he meets up with this philosopher, and the philosopher is giving him like the ins and outs of life and just everything like that. Like, whatever questions the youth has, he's answering those questions for him. And it's like a really good book. Like, I would say for anyone that's struggling with anything that's going on, like pretty much in their day-to-day life, like even basic questions that you feel like might be basic, or you need answers to something that's even complex, I would say this is a good read and a good book to read. Yesterday's read, he was talking about interpersonal relationships and how we cannot escape that, because at the end of the day, we have to live with other people here on earth, period. Like, if it was just us, basically, if it was just you living on planet earth, you would have no desire to really get dressed, worry about how you look, like just things like that. Like, so he was talking about that, and he was also talking about designating tasks, basically, like separation of tasks rather. So separation of tasks as a means to be free, and just telling the youth to really study what freedom is and come back to him the next day. I feel like freedom is something that everybody strives for in life. And what he was basically saying in that chapter, when he was talking about separation of tasks, is that to basically to use your discernment, like in certain things. Like, we all have people that we love and people that we want to be there for, and people that we support, people that we look after. But there has to be a line that you draw when it comes to your own mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being in the midst of everything that you do for other people. So he was just saying, like, don't stop being there for those people, but just make sure, like, just to sum up, basically what he was saying is, don't stop being there for those people, but make sure that you leave some room to take care of yourself, and don't allow those other people's issues and problems to become something that weighs so heavily on you, because you can only live life for yourself. You know, at the end of the day, yes, there are people in this life that make us happy, and there are people that we care about that essentially help us get through our days. But you do come in the world by yourself, and nobody's going to care more about your health and your well-being more than you do. I mean, there are some people that probably feel like, okay, there's somebody that cares about me way more than I care about myself, probably because of like the state of mind that certain people might be in. But you have to take care of yourself. You have to prioritize your health, not only your physical health, but like your mental health, your emotional well-being, all of those things. So, and then the youth even asked him, he was like, so do you want me to be selfish? Like, he was asking him all of these questions, all of the questions that I feel like somebody that's not really tapped in the way that the philosopher is would ask. Like, he was saying, like, so do you want me to be selfish? Is that what you're saying? Like, you're telling me to only worry about myself. And the philosopher said, no, that is not what I'm saying. I do not want you to be selfish. I just want you to not take on other people's emotions as your own and have it weigh so heavily on yourself to where you're just in distress. And that is what people do a lot of the times. They care too much about what other people think. And I just feel like freedom is, I feel like we all to a certain degree are always going to care a little bit about what somebody or people, what people think about us. But at the core, knowing that you shouldn't care what anybody has to say about you, and just doing what really makes you genuinely happy. And that's really what he was getting at, like, and just having the courage. A lot of things just take courage. It takes time and practice and things like that to say no, because when we're younger and we're more worried about, like, oh, is this person going to be, like, are they going to be mad if I do this? Or, and now I feel like also too, those thoughts come from us being more dependent on other people. Like, once you get to a certain stage where you're more independent, I feel like you don't really care about what people have to say about you. You're taking care of yourself, and you're making sure you're good and you're having your own back. So once you get to that level, I feel like you really don't care what a lot of people have to say about you once you get to that point. Like, and especially as you get older, because once you get older, you start to lose people. You start to see people's true colors. When you're younger, you're more naive, you're more dependent, and you're trying to please more because you might need certain people and certain connections, where as you get older, like that dies. You know, so yesterday's read was really good. That really stuck with me. So I enjoyed that. And I'm trying to think what else. I'm really chatty today. I already knew though that I was gonna have a lot to talk about today. I already knew that from like the jump start. As far as, you know, I always like to leave it off with like a word. So the topic for today, so I remember coming up, my dad would always say things like, men and women cannot be friends. And that's something that always stuck to me, and that's something that I really wanted to talk about and discuss. Um, Also, leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Um, I kind of understand his way of thinking a little bit when it comes to that. Like, as far as if you are somebody who is confident and attractive and you attract different energies and people, and you are a woman, this is more so for like women. And if you are a woman, like, men are not going to be attracted. Let me stop there because I almost screwed up what I was about to say. Men are not just going to walk up to you to meet you to just probably want to be your friend. They know what they want, and if they see you and they are attracted to you, they are gonna want something more. I feel like, so I do feel like, probably a few years ago, every time when my dad said that back then, I was like, no, Dad, that's not true. Of course, I'm saying this and I'm naive and I'm like a little younger. But then probably a few years back, I want to say like 3-4 years ago, I was like, you know what, I kind of agree with him, because I feel like every man that I meet, they just like want to try and talk to me and, see what I am about. They're not walking up to me like, oh, I was just like a beautiful friendship with you. But when it gets down to like what he was actually saying, that men and women cannot be friends, I don't believe that that's the case. I feel like men and women can be friends. It may need to go through, maybe in the beginning stages, the woman telling the man like, I'm not interested in you in that way. So I get what he was saying when it came to that. Like, if you are an attractive woman, you're confident, you're smart, you're beautiful, you have things going for yourself, a lot of men are going to want to be with that. They're not just going to want to be your friend. However, you have to be the one to draw that line, set the boundaries, and say like, I'm good. I don't want that with you. And then and 9 times out of 10, the man is gonna be okay with that. Like, oh, you know what? I can't have her romantically or physically or whatever the case may be, but me having her as my friend, that's okay too. So, I don't know. I just feel like that was something interesting to talk about. I want to know what you guys think, like, because I overall feel like men and women, yes, can be friends, but do I feel like it starts off like that? No, not unless you're in like, grade school or something, or like you're really young. But I feel like if it's somebody that you're meeting in your adult life, I don't feel like it starts off like that. But that type of thing can progress and grow and turn into that. So yes, and I mean, aside from that, I mean, it's only going to be one topic today, and that's the topic. Because I do have to get going. I do feel like there was something else that I needed to talk about, but I just wanted to say this is episode 4. Every week, I'm coming with something, no matter how I feel, if I'm tired, if I am not feeling well, if I'm not in the best mood, I'm gonna give you guys something. I'm gonna give it to you guys. I want to give you guys something. I don't ever want you guys to feel like I started something, maybe you got interested and got into it, and then it's no more. I want to make sure I'm consistent and I keep going, because people have asked me, like, you know, when you're going to start the thing, when you're going to start your channel. And I'm just like, you know, I don't know, because me, I'm a Virgo, and, you know, we are classified as, like, the perfectionists. So I was thinking that a little bit in the beginning, like, you know, I gotta make this perfect, like, this thing gotta be perfect. But no, like, I'm learning more and more, like, you perfect certain things along the way. Like, when you start off with certain things, they don't have to be great right away. Certain things, yes. Like, I'm not gonna say that everything I roll out is just gonna be like a work in progress, and like it's I'm gonna just be perfecting it. Like, no, some things when you see it, like, it's gonna be great right away. But this, I'm like, no, this can progress and be something, because even people that are on like a certain status and a certain level, they have to perfect things along the way. So, you know, I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna continue coming, talking, and bringing these things and doing the thing, whatever the thing is for the week. But it was so good talking to you guys today. This weekend was just so good to me, and I wanted to make sure that I gave that energy, and that I just jumped on and shedded some love and some light. But I am going to get up out of here. I hope you guys had an amazing week, and you have a blessed Sunday, and peace